Okay, so get this.
Okay.
We found this BBC Pidgin article about, a pilot in Nigeria, right?
Right.
And he's making all of his in-flight announcements in Pidgin.
Really?
And
That's fascinating.
the passengers are loving it.
I bet.
But it's more than just, a fun little twist.
Yeah.
It gets us thinking about, how language can really...
Language choices.
can make a big impact, right?
Huge.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Cool. I think it's a great topic.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more about this Pidgin language thing.
Well, it's really interesting because Pidgin in Nigeria, it's not just like a slang or something. It's spoken by millions of people.
Oh, wow.
And it actually acts as this kind of common language that bridges the gap between all these different language groups that you have in Nigeria.
I see.
So when this pilot is using Pidgin, he's really tapping into this shared identity, and creating this sense of community on the plane.
Oh, that's so interesting because the article actually mentions that the passengers Badoon and...
Yeah, I saw that.
Which basically means they're really enjoying it.
Right.
But I feel like it goes even deeper than that.
I think so too.
You know what I mean?
It's not just about understanding, it's about feeling like you're part of something.
Exactly.
Imagine you're on a flight and suddenly it feels like the pilot is speaking directly to you in a language that's familiar and welcoming, that can really change how you feel about the whole experience.
Totally. It makes me think about how formal language, while it has its place,
oh, absolutely.
it can sometimes feel...
It can create distance.
Yeah, a little distant.
Yeah.
You were saying how language impacts how we receive information.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you think, in this case, using Pidgin actually makes those
it could.
The safety announcements and stuff?
Totally more accessible.
Absolutely. Because it breaks down that barrier of formality.
Yeah, right.
It creates that sense of trust, hey, we're all in this together.
Oh, I like that. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
I think it makes people feel more at ease.
Absolutely. Instead of, that typical robotic, monotone pilot voice.
Right, friendly community member.
Yeah, like a friend. Yeah. And you're right, that connection...
It could extend.
It can go beyond just the flight, right?
Way
beyond. It's like a reminder that even in these, everyday situations, we have the power to really make people feel valued and included.
Just by how we talk to them.
Just by changing up our language.
It's powerful.
That's powerful stuff.
I think so.
So we've seen how this pilot has really made this positive and memorable experience. For sure.
For his passengers.
Yeah.
Just by using Pidgin. But I'm wondering, could there be any times when using Pidgin for these announcements might not be the best approach?
That's a great question.
What about...
it's all about context, right?
Right. What about during, an emergency?
Yeah, exactly.
Where you really need to use...
You need clarity.
Clear and standardized language.
For sure.
For everyone's safety.
It's interesting to think about.
It is interesting, right?
Obviously inclusivity is really important.
Yeah.
But safety has to come first.
Absolutely. Yeah, clarity and safety.
So there might be times where you just need to stick with that more formal, universally understood type of language.
So we've talked about Pidgin.
Yeah.
We've talked about how this pilot's using it in such an interesting way.
Super creative.
To connect with the passengers.
And the passengers are loving it.
Yeah. And how sometimes informal language can be great.
But sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes maybe not.
It depends.
It all depends.
Right.
But here's something else to think about.
Okay.
Beyond in-flight announcements, where else in our lives could we be using...
we be more intentional?
More intentional, more inclusive language?
Something to consider, right?
Something to think about.
It really is.
It really is. Some food for thought there.
Food for thought.
And join us next time for another deep dive.
Some more fascinating topics.
Absolutely.